Hello. It's a nice venue, this. My one complaint, I went for a shit earlier, there's half a zebra in the store with me. Gotta wipe myself and then wipe the zebra, it's only polite. Hi everyone, I'm Matt Zitron. Now we're all friends, a little bit about me. I'm half Jewish and half Catholic, which, in all honesty, is a bit shit, because I get all of the guilt but none of the bacon. Because I was raised half and half, I'm not actually circumcised. So technically, I'm an undercover Jew. It's a bit tough in the world at the moment, especially being a Jew, so I like to distract myself with trivialities like movies. Anyone here see Wonka? Yeah. Yeah, big movie. Stars Timothy Chalamet, who's an anime character brought to life. And you might not realise this, but it was shot in the UK, and the way you can tell is because they legally had to put Olivia Colman in the movie. I mean, this rule is pretty strict. The other night, I was making a sex tape with my wife. Olivia Colman comes in 20 minutes, it's like, you're right, lovey. Put a bit of a shift on there, have a couple. So yeah, I got to make a sex tape. I actually got to make 2 with my wife, and we're going to watch them now. No. That's what people order food, I don't want to see it again. So the first time I did it, it wasn't that dynamic, it was just a tripod job. I mean tripod like that, not tripod like that, let's face it. It's funny because it's true. Now look, I'm an almost 41-year-old unemployed stand-up comedian, so obviously I studied film at university. So I took pride in the second one. I was like putting on some mood music, I was getting dynamic angles, I was really getting into it. And my wife and I both agreed that it probably needed a better male lead. So I started doing impressions. So after a while I was like, this vagina is quite delicious. And then she turned into Arnold Schwarzenegger and was like, do it now! But then I experienced the problem that all modern filmmakers have now. What was I filming on, everyone? What do we film on? iPhone. There we go, a phone. And what also comes on phones? Your mother FaceTiming. Now, a lot of things happened very quickly when my mum FaceTimed me. I tried to swipe it up, but I have sausage fingers, so I answered. She looks at me and she's very caring, my mum. She said, Matt, you're sweating, are you having a heart attack? My erection descended so quickly, I ended up with a tail. Condom McGregor, no chatting please. My wife became drier than your mouth after you've had a Jacob's cracker with no cheese. And I had to come up with an excuse, so I just did what everyone would do. I said, Mum, I'm a Peloton! And hung up, and that was the last time I was ever allowed to make a sex tape. Now I'm going to ask a personal question to all of you. Who here likes a bit of weed? Woo! Officers, right here. How did I know? I love a bit of weed, and recently I got a legal prescription for weed! Hey! But before that, IBS dear. I'll tell you after. It's the only good thing to come out of IBS. But I used to have to deal with a drug dealer, and I don't know how many of you have dealt with drug dealers, but they're not the most reliable of people. I would text my drug dealer and say, can you get to me for 8 o'clock? And he said, yes, of course, I'll be there. Midnight comes around, he arrives. No one's happy. Anyway, there was one night, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get ahead of the game, right? I'm going out for dinner. I'm going to text him and try and get him to come in the afternoon. So I texted him, I said, look mate, can you get me some edibles and some weed for about 2 o'clock this afternoon? He says, yes, of course. 2 o'clock rolls around, nothing. 4, nothing, nothing. I got out to dinner and I forgot because I was stoned. Now, what happened next? I can't do an impression of him because I recognise I'm a white middle class dude. Right, so the role of my drug dealer from now on will be played by Elmo from Sesame Street. My phone rings and he says, what one, Pam? I'm outside your house. I'm like, I'm out to dinner. Now I live in a pretty rough area. I grew up around here, but I live in a really rough area. It makes Croydon look beautiful. It's called Chiswick. And so obviously this guy comes to meet me, I've got curtain twitchers and stuff, but I pay him and he goes. I think everything's good. Now, then my phone rang again. Now, if a drug dealer calls you out of the blue, you're either getting stabbed or getting arrested. So I asked him, well, mate, what's wrong? He says, listen, I was wondering, could you give me a customer review on each of the products you bought with a scale out of 1 to 5? He was calling for a customer satisfaction survey. Even my fucking drug dealer has joined Yelp. Anyway, I noticed there's a camera there, so before I go, I just want to say, I've been Matt Zitron, but I've also been Olivia Coleman. Thank you, good night.